Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another Pro video. And yes, we here can use that kind of gendered language, for we have no fear. But the Walt Disney Company is not the same. And if you thought they were going to stop the insane woke era, think again. Disney Parks and Disneyland scrub-a-dub-dubbing away pronouns, they say, make angry woke SJWs. Hello, folks. It is a joy as ever to have you joining us, an attitude of gratitude every time you come our way. Get ready, folks. We're going to dive into a topic that reminds us that not all of Disney has reached the self-correction point. But it's very important that we cover this topic because not only that, but this is coming from a segment that is likely under the control of the future CEO who will replace Bob Iger. Let's get to it. Click the like button. We'll explain right now. Here's the article of That Park Place. Disney changes out classic songs, scrubs gendered language from Paint the Night parade at Disneyland. So they're bringing back a parade to Disneyland. It's the one they've had before, but it's not the same as before. We'll tell you the changes right now. A series of controversial changes to Paint the Night at Disneyland has stirred controversy among the Disney fan base once more. The return of Paint the Night at Disneyland should have been a triumph. A beloved nighttime parade revived to mark the park's 70th anniversary with dazzling lights, familiar characters, and a wave of nostalgia. But in typical modern Disney fashion, the company couldn't resist tinkering with the legacy of its own classics in pursuit of progress. Well, what did they change? Folks, they've switched out the line. It used to say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Now in its place, Disney uses this. To all who come to this happy place, which is a quote from Walt Disney's 1955 dedication speech. Why did they switch it? Clearly, they don't want to reference ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. They must think it's all a bunch of Cupid dolls running around their parks with no gender whatsoever. While that line holds nostalgic value, its use here feels more like a corporate workaround than a heartfelt tribute. And we thought that was over. We thought that Disney being done with non-gendered language surely had to be something of the past. No, they're still doing it. But even worse, ladies and gentlemen, the finale of the parade. This was the big one. This is what they were so excited about. And Paint the Night is a newer parade. I want you to see how quickly the woke era came in and changed everything. The finale for this very new parade was Zippity-Doo-Dah and When You Wish Upon a Star. But those have been struck out of the parade. In their place is Celebrate Happy, which is just a little too on the nose for me. Like, listen, if you're happy when you celebrate, I'm not sure you're actually supposed to celebrate the emotion that is happy. I don't know about that. Anyway, in their place is Celebrate Happy, a new original track performed by the Jonas Brothers, commissioned specifically for the 70th anniversary celebration. While the song might not appeal to younger audiences or fans of modern pop, it's no substitute for the emotionally resonant classics that helped define Disney magic for decades. Removing Zippity-Doo-Dah is hardly surprising given Disney's ongoing crusade to erase all traces of Song of the South from its parks. So Zippity-Doo-Dah, yet again stripped away from Disney, replaced by the Jonas Brothers and those darn purity rings that apparently bring them back to the halls of the House of Mouse every single decade. All right, panel, we're going to hand it to you. Vash, starting off with you since you're a Disney parks expert. Are you amazed that not even their most recent parade was able to stand the test of time, doesn't measure up to the woke brigade, and had to be changed?
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of surprising, as you said, recent, because the Main Street Electrical Parade made its debut, I believe, in 1972, right after, actually, Walt Disney World opened in October 1st of 1971. And so it made its debut at Disneyland and had been running on and off at many parks around the world for 50 years. When it came back in 2022, April of that year, actually, they had removed the iconic Ladies and Gentlemen, Boys and Girls line from the intro and had replaced it with To All Who Come to This Happy Place, which, as you note, came from Disneyland's opening day speech with Walt Disney himself. To all who come to this happy place, welcome. And that was for the 50th anniversary of that parade. They also removed the America segment at the end. And well, it's 2022, right? It's 2021. You're right in the heart of the worst of the quote unquote woke era right there. But it's like, okay, well, with Reimagine Tomorrow going away, potentially, right? With Stories Matter, perhaps not being a household name anymore. Perhaps they have softened their stance on all of these things, and a lot of people were looking forward towards Paint the Night and wondering whether or not they were going to get rid of stuff like Zippity Doo Dah from the finale and so forth. Now it's made its debut last night, actually, and now we know, confirmed, To All Who Come to This Happy Place has replaced, like it did Main Street Electrical Parade, this parade's intro line with "Ladies and Gentlemen, Boys and Girls." This parade made its debut in Hong Kong first, actually, in 2014. The reason why it's called Paint the Night is because it used to have interactive brushes and so forth. And then it made its debut at Disneyland in 2015. So this is a very relatively new parade. Hasn't played at Disneyland Resort in about 9 years or so. And so to have it be brought back, and to have this gendered language actually be removed, to have Zippity Doo Dah also be removed from this, and along with When You Wish Upon a Star in this great mashup that I believe Owl City originally mixed for this parade, was truly disappointing. And the way they've kind of ham-fisted celebrate Happy, this Jonas Brothers song right there, it just feels off. It just feels weird. It just feels bad.
Vash, you're telling me that Owl City, that they worked on Zippity Doo Dah.
They worked on the soundtrack and all of the songs that are featured within the final mix right there. Hang
on, Vash. I'm listening out now. I keep a tab on this of all the people who worked on that evil, Rossist, terrible tune, Zippity Doo Dah. I keep a list of the sinners. So I'm going to add now, Owl City, we're discovering, they were evil, participating in the promulgation of Zippity Doo Dah. I'm going to add them right under Ray Charles, another horrible, terrible Rossist who performed Zippity Doo Dah. Vash, you sometimes play an audio clip for the show that says, "Dead men tell no tales." Vash, we're going to need to change that. Albertus Magnus says this is exactly right. "Dead them tell no tales." That's what we have to do from now on. That's what we got to do.
I will go ahead and alter the sound recording as soon as possible. Maybe, I don't know, maybe at the same time that Disney does. It's just when you remove stuff like this over and over and over again, when you continue to strip out what was the anthem of the parks in Zippity Doo Dah, when you make these alterations and these changes to placate a very slim minority, it's disappointing. It's disappointing to see that they're still going around, along this line right here. And it's just another example that Stories Matter and Reimagined Tomorrow haven't actually gone away. They're still there. They're still making changes. They just maybe have taken up a different name or have gone to operating in the shadows.
And Josh Tomorrow, potentially the next CEO of the company, likely the next CEO, has not stepped in and said, guys, girls, not guys and girls, we're going to stop this now. Matt, do you feel safe enough now to go back to Disneyland now that they have finally removed nighttime parade gendered language? Do you feel that you can safely go in there and not be faced face to face with patriarchy and oppression and gendered pronouns? Can you go back to the happiest place on earth and now the most genderless place on earth?
Well, they still require me to wear pants, so I'm not.
It is a problem, and Donald doesn't have to, which frankly is speciest.
Yes, exactly. But I mean, I'm not as big on switching the songs, because one of the things about stuff that's family oriented is that you always need to kind of stay current with appealing to kids. And a lot of these songs, like when we were kids, they were commonplace, and so there's a certain nostalgic feel to it. But for kids nowadays, it's Jonas Brothers, stuff like that. They want to try and stay current.
This is why, Matt, I've been telling them for years that the Dapper Dans need to get into dubstep, but they just won't listen to me.
Yeah, I mean, it always surprises me, what the youths of America are listening to. But I feel like they could have probably gone about this a slightly better way, but at the same time, I understand the logic behind it.
I understand the logic behind it too, but the problem is that Celebrate Happy, for example, that was recorded for this 70th anniversary right here. You'll probably never hear it again after this anniversary, and yet these changes will stick with this parade from then on. And I think people, kids, for example, will wonder, why is this song in here when there's many other Disney tunes that could have been otherwise included in this specific parade right here. It's just a weird inclusion. It's a weird way to go about this. I think When You Wish Upon a Star, that was also too removed, and well, it's been an iconic song for many years, and people ride Peter Pan. It's one of the most ridden attractions today.
Also, you have to take into account how the copyright and trademarks and stuff for a lot of these classic songs are getting to the point where Disney just can't hold on to them any longer. And
it's a fair point.
Like them phasing it out, it's a typical corporate strategy where it's like, well, if we can't strictly control and own all like the festivities that we put on, then we are not going to do it, because it makes it less special, because any other theme park can now use those songs. So this might be just kind of like looking down the road with Disney saying like, okay, well, we're not going to be able to copyright or claim or anything like that these classic songs much longer. So there's that to consider at least.
I'm gonna have to speak for a moment in Gen Alpha now, because Matt has made me realize the error of my ways. I need to help Gen Alpha know what they're missing out on. So give me a moment to speak the language of the next gen.
It should be
drop some Riz on us, Pro.
I'm throwing some Riz into this now.
You've not hitting on anybody. Calm down.
IRL zippity doo dah slaps. Brer Rabbit has real Riz. Jonas Bros are old hat. Easy mode. No lava chicken in that.
Cap.
I think I got my point across. Hey, Jonas, can you cap it?
Yeah, I just want to point out in all of this, no relation, by the way. No relation whatsoever.
But they did send you all of their purity rings after they were done with them.
The purity ring is creepy to me. I mean, just let your gays be yays and your nays be nays and just whatever, man.
I'm sorry. Is that a phrase that other people know? I have never heard "let your gays be gays and your nays be nays."
No, I said yays be yays.
Okay. Well, that makes more sense.
Yeah, heathen.
It did sound like a hard G.
It did. It did sound like a hard G. All right. Well, Jonas, give us your thoughts from your mind, not your loin, please.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So the loins don't have much opinion on this, but I will say my mind thinks that this is just silly. Guys, say ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is, for lack of a better term, iconic. And this whole thing of trying to go back to Walt's line as a hand wave, it's just moving the ball. It was Dreamers of All Ages for a little while, but that got associated with I almost said everything woke. Reimagine Tomorrow, which is woke. I think that Disney just needs to let it be and just say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, no one real is offended by that. That's the kind of thing that Human Resources comes in and says, wouldn't it be nice if, or is imagining a person who would say, wouldn't it be nice if? It's dumb. It's Marxist. It raises an eyebrow. It's not quieting the noise. Just get away from it.
Jonas, I hope they don't change it, because here on this channel, we have intros. We have things that we say on the videos, right? And so one of the things we might say is, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video of excellence, right? We do that. We do the other intros where we say, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to you from a studio in somewhere sunny USA where the sun is glistening and we are listening to you. But one of the intros, Jonas, is we'll come into a video here on the Pro Channel and say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and yes, we, unlike Disney, can still say it. And if they start saying it again, I won't be able to do that anymore. It'll take the fun away.
Yeah, you could update that. Disney used to be scared to say it. We never stop saying, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
We held
the lighting at the Pro Show is about to dim.
That's right. You know, we must bid adieu for now. But folks, I encourage you, if you enjoyed this kind of video, well, we have plenty more and more on the way every single day. We do it for you. Check out the WDW Pro Channel and go click on videos. You can see the most recent ones and enjoy all the stuff we're talking about, and hopefully give us some feedback, because we would love to cater what we're doing for you. You are the consumer. You are our valued guest. It's how entertainment companies once upon a time treated the people who bought their stuff, and we're still doing it here. Folks, on the way out the door, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, as we get ready to say goodbye, we always say this because we think you indeed are special and matter. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Hey, Floral, guess what?
You put a fork in Pro's microwave again.
No, that was yesterday.
I don't know that what.
Oh, I've decided to give up on torturing Jonas.
What? Why? In the same way the cat sleeps like 20 hours a day, that was like your purpose.
I know, but I've decided there's bigger fish to fry.
Okay.
Like Lorne. I mean, think about it. Everybody loves him. He's a fan favorite, and frankly, he has almost no weaknesses I can find. Except that he's really smart.
So, you want to annoy the one panelist without a single flaw, because he's smart.
Yeah, like that winged statue at that fancy Paris museum thingy. I want to break the one thing that everyone loves most.
Right. So, kind of like the opposite of Rachel Zegler.
Yeah, exactly. And I get to see her all the time at family reunions anyway.
You get to see Rachel Zegler?
Yeah. She's a total troll. Lives under a bridge, harasses billy goats, the whole 9 yards.
It all makes sense now.
Speaking of which, maybe she'll get me... Okay, I'm gonna call her on my... I'm gonna call her and see if she'll be in the next Indiana Jones. She should be the next Indiana Jones. That'll totally destroy Lord. He loves Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's cruel.
Hey, Rach. I've got a cool idea for you that involves a whip and snakes.
I love that description. It's perfect.
I know, right? Weird, as we always say.